at least it was at least decent. For better or for worse. And trust me, it got pretty bad when I mentioned a few things. I'm also Basics. I'm picturing another video today. I'm reviewing Raw. It's the Raw before WrestleMania Backlash because we just have to have WrestleMania in front of everything. Why not make it WrestleMania Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, Extreme Rules? Or it'll probably be the Horror Show Extreme Rules Part 2. I'm not doing that laugh because I know a certain subscriber that will laugh at me for that. Thanks, Hunter. Anyways, the show was probably the least sufferable, but it was still pretty boring. Though the matches did vary in quality, the segments were just ungodly unnecessary. But talk about them in a little bit. Anyways, after I review SmackDown, which I don't know if I will, because I am graduating there. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn off my notifications on my phone. Anyways, I don't know if I'll be able to review SmackDown because I am graduating. I don't know what time it ends. Though I will be doing my Backlash predictions. And so far the card looks decent. But it's mainly a B pay-per-view. And that's mainly what Backlash has been ever since its inception back in 1999. With that being said, there will be some matches that might deliver and some might be going up like a fart in church. Anyways, let's go into the show properly now, shall we? We get a video package of the main event last week between Strowman and Lashley, and Drew kicking everyone's head off, inserting his lengthy claymore into two other big men. Have fun on seeing that, and delete your research history. And then we get, this is my main problem about WWE, promoting or just throwing out matches for the hell of it. We have a 6-woman tag for a reason between Charlotte Flair, a.k.a. Ric Flair's Nepotism Project, Nia Jax, a.k.a. the Three-Legged Water Buffalo, and Shayna Baszler, who can literally kick your teeth out of your throat if she damn well pleases, just ask Asuka. They took on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and Asuka for reasons. This was not a good match. This was ungodly sloppy. It got worse. Because Alexa Bliss and Lily show up on the stage for whatever reason. Because this storyline has been shit already. Let's just make it 10 times worse. Apparently, Lily has some voodoo powers. Because apparently Shayna went to go kick, but her leg was frozen. Like it got hypnotized or something. Running knee by Asuka. And she pins Shayna and then gets booted by Flair later. Like after the match. Who is this for? This benefited no one. My God. Well, the show was already off to a bad start. And then Lily and Alexa laugh for reasons. Anyways, the New Day and Red Order backstage are going to talk about their 8-man tag against Omos, Styles, Riker, and Elias. Then Orton shows up. He says, I'm not here to... The only thing that makes me laugh is in careers, ruin legends, and kicking everyone's head off. Gee, Orton, that's a bit much, but to be fair, Orton doesn't really care. He's only there for a paycheck. I don't blame him because it's like WCW 2000, except somehow a bit worse. And then MVP backstage, he goes into Strowman's locker room. Strowman says something later I'm going to get into, and it's a bit jarring. And yes, I say jarring a lot, it's because I don't know what other words to use. Anyways, he wants to make a business associate with Strowman. That's going to tie into what's going to happen later in the show. Damian Priest and Adam Pearce are backstage, and then Miz and Morrison show up. And Priest is like, you know what? I'm tired of you running your mouth. How about we have a match at Backlash? And Morrison, I want to face you, and whoever wins gets to pick the stipulation of the match. Morrison agrees, and Miz just looks on in disbelief. Jinder Mahal is here, and he's got 2 new associates. Apparently the Singh brothers got jacked up or lived in a freaking gym for reasons. I'm kidding. It wasn't the Singh brothers. It's Shanky and Veer. Who? One of them I think was part of Indu Shear. I think Veer Sarav or Rinku. I couldn't remember. It's the guy that took a picture of Keith Lee when he won the NXT and NXT North American title simultaneously. Hooray! Congratulations for that. That was kind of a dumb move. And I think Shanky, was part of the Superstar Spectacle. It was that little Indian show that WWE ran months ago. Okay, it's a way to, feature Indian talent. He takes on Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy has been on Main Event, but this is the first time he's made a big television appearance. He hasn't made an appearance since the Rumble, I think. And understandable, because again, Hardy did lose his father. Rest in peace, Mr. Hardy. I taking any criticism away from the Hardy Boys, I give them credit, for gutting it out while grieving the loss of their father. And I've been dealing with grief a lot lately because I did lose my great grandmother on my birthday, no less. Hooray! We can't have nice things in this world. Yeah, I mean, again, my thoughts and prayers and condolences to the Hardy family. It really does suck losing a family member. Anyways, this was a match. It was way better than our match in 2018, with the U.S. title feud that no one asked for. It was way better than our Greatest Royal Rumble match because this lasted about 5 minutes. And no botched whisper in the winds. It was mainly a showing for Jinder, who is bald now, which is just weird. But, I mean, it's something at least. As much as Jinder's WWE title match was one of the worst things that happened this side of, WWE and the Saudi Arabian, partnership, I don't really mind Jinder. I just don't really care about him. I don't hate him, I just don't care about his character. He's just kind of bland. But in the outset, the Colossus 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whatever. Then Sonya Flair backstage. There were some audio issues that happened throughout the show, by the way. I'll get to that here in a little bit. And then Riker, Elias, and Omos and Styles show up. They're going to discuss, they're going to defeat Riddle, Hardy, or not Riddle, Hardy. They're going to beat RK Bro and the New Day in their 8-man tag. And they, Riker has a basket full of tomatoes, because we still need to refeature that little segment that happened 2 weeks ago. They're fighting over tomatoes. Not the worst thing the two men have fought over. I mean, for God's sakes, Booker T and Edge feuded over a fake shampoo commercial in 2002. I'm not kidding. It is an actual thing that happened in WWE. Why the stupid feuds? I will never understand Vince's logic. Well, it's because he's as old as the dinosaurs, and he rips up the notes the day of when he gets there. So, almost grabs a tomato and squashes it. And I'm guessing Riker looked in disbelief because, considering who he hates, it's not surprising that Riker didn't want to be around Omos. Mainly that, or he was going to get his head slapped off. So, yeah. Then Sonya is backstage, and then Asuka and Ripley are there, and they're having a match later. Okay? Or actually, oh wait, hold on. I skipped ahead of that. We had the 8-man tag. It was okay, I guess. I didn't really care about it. RKO to Elias, 1, 2, 3. Then we get the Sonya, Asuka, and Ripley, segment. Again, they're having a match later. Kevin Patrick, the most Irish man named Sheamus, backstage with MVP and Lashley, talking about how they're going to, how Drew's going to, how Lashley's going to win the triple threat. It's the mainstay of that. And then we get Sheamus versus Humberto Carrillo. It was a good match, but the ending was very scary. And I heard that Carrillo's okay. What happened is that the match was good back and forth. Sheamus always brings a lot out of a little. Carrillo doing some high-flying stuff, doing some good lucha things, and Sheamus bringing that intensity and all that stuff. Hopefully he doesn't do the same thing that a certain other someone that has intensity as a wrestler did in circa 2007. I'm talking about Chris Benoit, if you guys don't know. Anyways, what happened is that Carrillo went to do a sunset flip powerbomb onto the floor, from the apron to the floor. But what happened is that Sheamus landed on his leg and it knocked him out. So it ended by a count out. And Carrillo is okay. That was a very bad looking bump though. Like, go back and watch it. I about cringed. Not as cringy as Judas Priest Judas Priest cameo in The Simpsons, but I digress. It was pretty bad. But Carrillo is okay. I'm glad for that. It might set up another match maybe next week or at the pay-per-view. And then we get a Lucha House Party vignette for reasons. I don't know. We've seen them on NXT. It's not like they've been gone for a year or two. And then Cedric Alexander comes down. He's going to have a match with Shelton in a bit. But then we get a Eva Marie vignette. Do I have your attention? Do I have everyone's attention now? Talking about CM Punk. Remember when CM Punk was a thing in WWE? Perfect Fire remembers. Don't know if he's going to return to the ring anytime soon. So yeah, join the Evolution. As much as I don't care about Eva Marie, she has defended women's wrestling, or she has defended WWE. Though, with that being said, she's got a little more, skeletons in her closet, let's just say. That and her husband. And then we get Shelton Benjamin. How about Shelton Alexander? Please speak. I mean, Corey Graves about said that, but anyways, Alexander versus Benjamin. It was fine. It just had no build. And why were they having this match already? Alexander, getting in his face, saying that I'm better than you and all that stuff. T-bone suplex 1, 2, 3 from out of nowhere. Okay, thanks for coming. The match was fine for what it was. It's just, why did they have to do this? I don't know. Then Garza and Gulak were backstage. And Gulak saying, I've never been disrespected. Gulak, you're part of the 24/7 division. It's pretty embarrassing. And then Garza says, I'm going to take this rose and shove it down your throat. Okay, please don't do that. It was bad when Garza put the rose down his Gulak's pants and kicked it. Yeah, that was pretty rude. Ripley versus Asuka. Flair comes down and joins commentary. Match as good as what you expect. We've seen this match 100 times. And then Ripley wins after catching Asuka. Riptide 1, 2, 3. Okay. Cool. Don't care about the triple threat. As much as I like Asuka and Ripley, Flair doesn't need to be there. And then Kevin Patrick with McIntyre backstage saying that he's gonna beat Lashley and, prove that he will be champion again. We get Morrison versus Priest. It was a pretty good match as you expect. It was a bit chunky here and there. It was a little bit sloppy, but it was still a pretty good match. Miz tries to interfere. But in the end, hit the lights, 1, 2, 3. He cost Morrison the match again. Hit the lights, 1, 2, 3. Then Miz tries to attack, but, Priest retaliates. Then another hit the lights to Morrison. Morrison really takes him on his neck. I'm surprised his vertebrae isn't snapped. It's pretty brutal. But, Priest says we're having a lumberjack match at Backlash. Okay, cool. Then Bobby and Drew are getting ready for their match. The Strowman shows up. Again, we're going to get to that here in a little bit. Another Eva Marie, video package. Taking, pictures and all that stuff. And then we get, I did put Priest and Pierce backstage, and Priest wants a lumberjack match. I already mentioned that. Lashley versus McIntyre. It was a good match as you expect. It's probably their weakest match so far, but that being said, it was still pretty good. Strowman's music hits, then we get a DQ because Strowman was looking backstage, and then his music hits, and then a DQs as he he attacks Drew, power slam to him, and then power slam to Lashley, and then Strowman says, you couldn't really quite hear it, but after listening to it a couple times, he said the MVP. MVP tried to attack with his cane, but Strowman, takes the cane out of his hand. He says he's gonna F his boy. Okay then, you do you, Strowman, you weird giant you. And then running power slam through the barricade, which looked pretty sloppy. And then another one to Drew. Strowman stands tall. Okay, he's most likely taking the pin. But yeah, also, I forgot to mention this. Rumored Velveteen Dream was backstage. He was rumored to have his debut match, but it didn't happen. So we're going to have a child pedophile on your WWE broadcast. Great job, Vince. I mean, that's not the worst thing that's happened. For God's sakes, you filmed a pay-per-view after a man died in the ring. With that being said, I wish Dream was fired. He should be, because you shouldn't be doing that to children. Anyways, that's all I have to say about this episode of Raw. What did you guys think? I didn't think it was terrible, but it's not the best thing in the world. What did you guys think? Did you think it was good? Think it was bad? Let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Join the herd. I'm Boss 6. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.